We might have a guest on today's show.
Yes.
Wiley, is that you on the line?
Yes.
Good afternoon. You're live on Reprezent Radio. How are you doing, my guy?
All good, you alright?
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you finding this time? Because I know you're like
Nah, it's crazy.
You're a studio rat at the best of times, so you're quite happy to just have your head down.
Yeah, because it's like, well, basically, you know, when you must know you go to do a show or you go to do something.
Yeah.
Basically, like you're inside there and you're doing it. So basically, the studio is like being in quarantine anyway. You're just in there, like 17, 18 hours a day. So actually, I feel no different. But where I do feel different is no work. Like, obviously, you can work, but I mean, the other bit of work, like shows, and this other bit of work. So I will be a liar if I said, oh yeah, man, I don't need no work, man. It's alright. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So where are you? Are you in the UK now? Or are you in Rotterdam?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not even.
I tried to go home. I didn't make it, mate. And also, I tried to go to my flat in Rotterdam. And my mum's there, and I still never even made it, but she's alright.
Oh, okay. So what beyond recording and things like that, what plans did it halt? Or did you have any kind of broader sort of shows for summer?
I was on a little back to the village.
Yeah.
Like few dates, nothing massive, just a little few dates, just to try and build some awareness on that thing, and also like get my little Bosie gang performing and the new songs we've got, because I didn't just want to stop at Bosie. Like, even when I made Bosie, I knew that this is the type of music that I can do at this age.
Yeah.
And no one, and it's the music I started as a child, so it's like a full circle for me. And I don't want to, like, I won't go back on the page. I don't want to keep making songs that sound like Bosie. I might have 1, 2, 3, but then just like more, you know, like if I said to myself, like, acting my age more, because I've grown and I've learned a few things. So there's different musics where I can get different messages across. Like, obviously spitting at 140 BPM all the time is not like what, I can't do that all the time. I do it enough as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never felt like, because there was even way back where you were trying other things anyway. Yeah. I just think this is probably the most, Bosie's probably the most high profile successful of that, but also in like a one that people, I don't think anyone could. So when stuff like Heatwave was coming out, there were some people who were trying to find a way to chip away at that sort of tune, but no one could chip away at Bosie. It's a credible, different type of tune that you made.
It's true, and also, one thing I haven't forgotten is we had a movie star on there.
Yeah.
And obviously we had Stefflon Don, like big business, what she does, and we had Sean Paul, who's been doing, like, if I've been there for a long time, he's been there, mate, for the same time or longer. Right, so and he the way Sean Paul works is very strategic. If you notice, like, he's always on a big record.
Yeah, and no one ever says he's not being Sean Paul when he does a song with Little Mix, when he does a song with Mr. Easy, when he does a song with Beyonce. It's him.
He works with his label well. They all work it well, and God bless them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a big business remix. Like, my original of Bosie was cool, but what the remix did, then I made me think, shit, man, when I done that one, I should have sent it and seen what I could do with it. Like, I just rushed it out, because I made that because I was in Rotterdam, and I was thinking of what music I can make, so when it all slows down, wherever I am on the earth, I could bust a one tune, you get me? Because you can't, one day it has to stop. Like, I know that people think they can do anything forever, but like, me as a human being, I know, like, what to do for jobs in this industry. So I know that I don't have to pick up the mic forever, because I know my man who works in that office, or my gal who works over in the other office, and we can talk and do business. You know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't have to be that I make the song.
Yeah, okay.
All the time. It doesn't. I can. We've got a management company set up. John Wolf has got that bubbling like a good one, and everything is bubbling. So as you get older with the age, obviously you can spit bars forever, but what you must do is you must set up, start setting up things properly, so that you, for the next generation and all this type of stuff, you have to think ahead at these times, sometimes at this age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand, and I've seen your attempts to do that as well with things like, because with like chasing your art records, and of course all sort of more kind of non-industry just cosigns and support like that too. So it's obviously clearly something that's been on your mind beyond whether you were ready for it or not or whatever. You're just like, it's something you're thinking about, which I like. I like seeing that. I like seeing it work as well.
Yes.
So that's sick.
And also you have to be. See, the thing is that if you want to be successful selling records, you need to be in tune with what's going on. Number one, like, so what's popping in England, around here, or whatever territories you're dealing with, and you also need to be like catching the talent at the right time. No timing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Timing is very key, because if I just go back to the time that I met Dizzy Rascal, and then I took him to the studio that we was working in, and then we went to all the radios, all the raves and all the stuff, then he done the album and blew up. It was the timing for him and for me. So we both exist because of each other.
Right.
But I know he wants the world to think that he exists and we all exist because of him, but we all exist because of each other. And me and him especially.
Yeah, just that perfect storm of that in history.
It's over now. Like the legend of Dizzy and Wiley is over. It's happened. Like 20 years have passed.
Yeah, that's a long time, isn't it?
It's happened. It's not like it's not about that now. It's about today. You know what I'm saying? It's about today, and that's why I know you got to keep your ears to the street, what's going on, and you have to time it. It's like if I meet another Dizzy Rascal or another whoever artist, imagine they're the first one of them. Sorry, they're not Dizzy, and I meet them, and I'm older with this experience, and I've got John Wolf in play, and we've got the lawyers there, and we've got everything set up. This time round, it's different. So now I can meet the Dizzy Rascal. I could take him in. He can get his own lawyer. They can drive. It's set up now, rather than when 20 years ago I thought I was P Diddy and Birdman. Then,
yeah, spent just taking coins and notes.
Get people together.
Yeah,
but I wasn't P Diddy and Birdman because I didn't have my business hat on.
Right.
Like Mega Man had his business hat on. There's a few people who's got their business hat on because this is business, and that's why you see when people get upset. Like I see recently, I said this before. I see recently Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh yeah.
She was upset because, but she, when she's talking, she was like, "I ain't even look at that contract," and I thought, "Oh my god."
Yeah, that's still a thing. Still happens.
Yeah, well, you just said you didn't look at it, babe. So I don't know, mate.
Yeah, crazy. Right. Timing, something else to do with timing. So there was a point where you were going to put out the album that had My Ones and Bosion too, and that got what?
I was onto something there, but wow.
Did you change your mind on that, or was that just something else?
No, the forces didn't really want me to have that power again, and that's what I'm saying. Bosie was the biggest record, but they told you that it was Bossy Bop. That's why I don't get it, mate. And that's what I'm saying. The truth is, now when I look, I think, you know what, Wiley? You have worked with people, you've earned people money, they've earned you money. You've done 20 years, right? And everyone. And I don't hate anyone. I don't, because I understand that it's a business. All of that had to happen for us to get here, good or bad.
Yeah.
And my heart is as clean as anyone's heart. And the truth of the matter is, I only want everyone to succeed and be okay and get their money and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you can tell that because because obviously that ZZ interview you did blew up and did a big thing, and I think I've always seen there are the people that don't see the point you're making, and then there are people that do, and they kind of like when I see you make points about other people's careers and stuff, and I kind of have seen your career enough to understand the prisms and the context you're talking from, but people, I don't know what people don't want to hear. It's almost like they want to make the mistakes themselves.
Yeah, I want them to. I've learned that as well. Let them make the mistakes, because you know why? In England, I'm going to give you a very strong factor here.
Okay.
In England, black people don't trust each other. That's one. It's not. It's no one. I'm not saying a different tribe or race doesn't or does. I'm just talking about black people. Okay. So black people in England don't really trust each other in business, music business.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just a true factor. So, for me to have learned something in 20 years and turn around to someone younger today and give them advice, they don't have to listen to me. They can ignore me. They're allowed to make the mistakes and learn for themselves. Because they was never going to anyway. Because every black boy is trying to get to the lawyer and the manager, doesn't matter what race they are, they're just trying to get to the lawyer and the manager who can get them to the money and away.
Yeah, the idea of a mentor isn't always, people are suspicious of it, like, well, they're going to want money on the back end or something.
Well, no one wants to be together. Everyone just wants to be their own millionaire trying to rule everyone. When in actual fact, listen, you know Grime has produced a good few millionaires.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, I don't want. It's not everyone's business. Like, obviously, you might know, you might not know, but Grime has produced a good few millionaires. None of them have put 2 pence together to try and make 4 pence.
Okay, I see what you mean.
But if this was in the Asian community, in the Jewish community, in maybe Russian community, like different communities who have got it in running that way, they'd be putting 5 pence to make 10, 5p to make 10, £1 to make 2. But we're all separated. It's like we're all without, even Jay-Z, everyone, bruv. It's not a joke. Every person has got their own manager or lawyer who is making sure that they are rich, and then they're going to try and pattern up their brethren and this and this and this and this. But in actual fact, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not exempt. I'm one. I'm just saying though. But I've noticed though, we're all here, and like everyone who's got money, we're all here. Like who's alive, still alive, you know what I mean? But not 1 or 2 is trying to put 10 pence together to make 20 pence, mate. So what does that tell you? Even the ones who do talk to each other, are they doing it?
Right, I see what you mean, yeah. So that's where that back to the village mindset is.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we all want to be Birdman on our own, instead of I'm Birdman here, you're Birdman there, you're Birdman there, you're Birdman there. We all work together. DJ Khaled thing, you know, like.
Yeah. Two very different types of legacy, that isn't it? And it's
and that's the problem.
It's safer to make your first one than the broader one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a small problem that we face that we got to deal with. It's like, it's just what we got to deal with. It's no one's fault but our own, especially if we've recognised. So we need to recognise the error and change it. Yeah, because I've obviously listened to Grime for a long time, and one of the things people would always like to see was infrastructure was a word used a lot, and it never really quite got there. And it's interesting to see. I wonder what you think now when you look at like how UK rap, where streaming has allowed a lot of these artists that the kind of what would have been like to have been in 03, 04 for a rapper or MC. Now they're getting the streaming revenue almost straight away, and they're labelled, so the labels are involved a bit earlier, and it's setting them up nicely and quicker at a time when they're only as big as people would have been back then. And I think as a result, you're going to see infrastructure happen a lot quicker. I'm hearing all kinds of sort of label ideas and setups and imprints and Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's more, people are more hands-on today as well. And everyone wants to be Birdman. It's the same thing. Everyone wants to be Birdman, sitting next to the boss of Universal, talking about Nicki, Drake, Lil Wayne, and Tyga's next projects.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that, and that's it's like some people get it, some people don't. Some people, the problem is another problem is it's not a colour thing. This one's more to do with the fact that, like, once you do get into this position, like you see, like Birdman position with that boss of Universal, and you can deliver a Nicki, a Wayne, and Drake and Tyga. Some people who are on their label, they don't want no Nicki or Drake. They just want to stay Lil Wayne and not have no Drake or Nicki. You get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never had that, you know. As long as I've done music, I've always just worked with a person. They could be bigger than me, smaller than me, it don't really matter. Just work. Because they're going to go big, that's them. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's path is different. So you got to kind of accept it. But I've noticed that. Like, not Drake, nothing to do with him. Sorry, why did I say him? Sorry, for instance, a Dizzy Rascal on Dirty Stank. He didn't want no one to come on Dirty Stank and sell more than him, did he?
Yeah,
naturally.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, bruv. Like, he's good, he could do whatever he can do to keep his sales going. But I'm saying, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. And I see the skepticism when people come to kind of, if they've got multiple deals on the table, a lot of people are quite anxious to kind of pick those situations because they never feel like the artist is gonna, whoever's leading up that imprint is never gonna allow someone else to be bigger on it. And if you go throughout history, there's very actually few examples where it happens. Whether it's the artist getting in the way or not, it can be subconscious, and it's difficult.
Yeah, so you're saying like Lil Wayne, even though he's doing business, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
As he fades out and he might feel away.
Yeah.
The artist, obviously he loves them, but I mean he might be thinking, well, they don't even follow me or whatever.
Yeah. And because obviously where you've not really worked like that at any point, I've always been quite interested in how you never really allowed that to break your spirit. Like, I can imagine it happening quite a lot, but you've never it's never stopped you moving that organically. Have you ever been like near a brink of going, forget everyone and not doing that?
No, but you know what though? I'll tell you what, one thing you do have to do, as much as you work with people and you do some work for them, and you have to make sure that you're doing work for yourself as well sometimes. Sometimes you get caught up in just like, if you do not do work for yourself and you're just working for the team, or you're working on sometimes like you lose out. Like I always believe that even if you're working with people, you should have your own music as well recorded so that you can know what you're gonna sell, because you got to sell something, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think that we definitely need to know, like, we're friends, we're working each other, but what are we selling ourselves to?
Okay. I was speaking about a week or, in fact, just before the quarantine, and I interviewed Kidda Cuds, and
yes,
I thought it was interesting because he described you as like a big brother. He said, yes. I mean, you at the video in like Bethnal Green. I know that studio, and that is again like an example of you. What you were saying earlier, kind of reaching out on different sounds and just making music without the purpose of it being a particular genre or anything like that. Yeah, and still being you.
Yeah, wanted to feature. I like him as well. I wanted to work with him, to be honest, but I like his song. What he did with Miss Banks was the first time I heard him.
Yeah, that was a nice good moment for the both of them.
Wasn't it?
Because I think it did a lot for both of them. Because Miss Banks needed that sort of single to go to that level, and he needed a kind of introductory breakthrough moment as well.
Yeah. She needs to rock with a little bit more of that sound.
I think
drums and stuff, different styles of ways, but that's a sound that she came with there.
Yeah, I think so. When it comes to reaching out to people like that, are you just kind of I don't care who they are. Like I'll send a message if they want to work. Cool. If not, are there go betweens? Is John Wolf running around? What's the?
No, he does he will only do it like John Wolf don't really do. He does the big things, doesn't he? Like, why don't we get Dua Lipa? Like he's
okay.
He's big. Like what he says is, it's not out of reach what he says even because like we actually did get Nicki Minaj, but what it is it's just that like big business. Obviously, after Bosey, big business could be done. Before Bosey, we wasn't really in the big business bracket.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like I've never had a record played on the radio in New York or at the basketball or whatever until that. You know what I mean? And worldwide, like I've never had a worldwide record, to be honest. But like I said, we have a movie star on there.
Yeah.
So it's like with the movie star, he done a remix of it, and now we're rocking. It's not. Oh yeah, we did that, and now I'm Idris. No, it's what it is we did that.
Yeah.
And I need to still be Wiley. That's why I'm glad that Idris did the remix. And we sold it like that because that's what it was. It was Idris Elba remix of Bosey.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that he wanted to remix it. You know what I mean? I'm over the moon, and then I've done some stuff back for him. He's actually got a cold tune, some tune is so sick. It's like, oh man, it's sick. But anyway, what I want, but I just need to redo my verse properly. But he is a movie star, which means. Like it's anything with people like that or people with a big status. It's big business, isn't it? It's different to just like me and my brother Manga spraying up a grime tune and shooting a video. It's different. It's a different thing. Even though that's what I love to do. Like when you do Idris Elba stuff, it's like you know what the truth is. My voice is saying those words. Bosey, but that record is not me. Like I didn't sell that record. You get me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. I know what you mean, and I think you're not in any kind of delusion or even kind of. It doesn't make you uncomfortable to be aware of that where that's sold in particular places initially.
Yeah, that wasn't me. John Wolf sold that, and his pal at BMG connected with the other pals. And gone. Everybody's settled. Like that was them. And I respect them for it because they didn't have to do that. They could have, like they obviously saw people liked it and they flaunted it, but the record's even watermarked.
Okay.
That's because Peter watermarked. So that's what I'm saying. Like that record is protected. If you understand what I am actually saying here.
Okay. Yeah.
That record is protected, and the truth. I'm always rambling on about the labels and the this and the that and the buildings and the corpse because of the business situations I go through with them and like good and bad. But the truth is, I am actually become one of them.
Okay, at least you're aware of its mechanics now, so you're a lot less likely to get caught out and make the most of it. Yeah. Yeah,
and I accept it. I don't hate anyone. I love all of them, and I've become one of them. So I am protected too, as much as like the other day I was thinking I was on the net and I was like. Someone was like, stop riling people up, Wiley. And I was like, yeah, I will now. It was getting a bit late. I'm a bit tired. But then someone said to me, someone said to me, Wiley, you're one of the higher ups. Me, no, I ain't. But then when I walked around the room, I walked away from the phone. Wiley, you're mad. You, everyone you know and you've worked with in the last 20 years, like you are all like, it doesn't matter because you're in the studio in Go, and they're in the building in High Street Ken, and the other person's in Holborn, it don't really matter, does it? You're working together, mate.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm on the outside, but really, you're on the inside, pal. So just relax sometimes, you know what I mean? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Myself.
Oh gosh. So when Bosie is doing traveling kind of places it hadn't been before to that size, I know you've spoken before about being quite frustrated sometimes with the inability to run around like you used to be able to in the States.
Yeah.
So when that was happening, did you feel a bit hamstrung, or like, there's opportunities to do this and that I can't really do?
Not really hamstrung. You know what it is? Yeah, you can't do everything.
Okay.
So, you like, say you got a diary and it's full up. You can do it, of course you can. But I'm saying after 20 years, some of it you won't want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And I think the best person. Listen, let me tell you something. The best person who sticks to a diary and doesn't miss shit.
Yeah.
Is Stormzy.
Okay.
The best current diary holder, like attending to what the diary says, is Stormzy right now. Like, undoubtedly in Europe, I reckon he is that. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, the strategy of what he does and what he doesn't is impeccable. Mate, so like,
he hasn't missed a trick.
Yeah, and I've always got respect for that because I've seen how much that can be done badly. So,
mate, that is undoubtedly the best come up I've ever seen, because Dizzy Rascal's one was longer than that.
Okay, yeah.
That. I'm not saying Stormzy wasn't working, but what I'm saying is when he got one, like, not that deep, then the next one, then like, you know what I'm trying to say? That I ain't seen that.
Yeah. Do you think as well? Obviously, it's a name people wanna. Obviously, it's a name people wanna ask about a lot with you. But I found with Stormzy, a lot of people were trying to, because it was particularly at that point, it was grime freestyles and tunes that were elevating him a little bit higher to people's attention. Yeah. People were keen to kind of make sure they were alongside him along the way, and I feel like a lot of pushback on him, not necessarily from you, but maybe from others, has been his kind of refusal to kind of, my victories are a victory for grime, where I think someone like a Skepta would do that, or even yourself. I feel like he was kind of, here are some grime singles, but he'll call himself the king of grime, but not necessarily say, you know, it was never he's never kind of stood and said, I'm doing this for a scene or anything like that. And I can see a lot of...
what he did was, listen, grime is the way you get famous in England for the past however. So if you could have spat a bar, you could have appeared. Before that, at the same time even, would have still been different tempos and things. But the truth is, we need to be honest now. Because one day, they said that Ed Sheeran was the most influential urban artist of the whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Or whatever. And the true story is this. Grime in England, like I said, has produced those millionaires. Ask Lethal B. The truth is, like, rap and everything can exist. Like, drill is here now. It's massive. I love it. I want the kids to have whatever day they're going to have. But what I'm saying is, before drill and this stuff, before, like, grime was a way that you could make your name.
Yeah.
And this, like an academy for kids who want to play football, it's deep.
Yeah.
And Stormzy was a rapper.
Yes.
So he was rapping anyway, doing his thing and doing whatever he's doing. Obviously, his attention came via some grime music, which is not the first one. It's always a story. It's just that we haven't got the infrastructure set up how the other communities would have had by now, like I told you.
Yeah.
Because really, truly, it's by now in every place, not just in the... by now, like, the people who are older in grime, who are the millionaires, by now, they would be the label, the Def Jam, the blah blah, the blah blah, and Stormzy would be signed to them.
Okay, yeah.
So, that's a par. Stormzy was the last person who people will ever let or watch do what he just did. Ever.
Do you think so?
Ever. Because people who was doing it for ages never got that chance that he got there.
Yeah, I see what you mean. He set a tone, so it was like someone that didn't come from the quote-unquote scene making grime and still working.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man.
Because and that was a different tone. Because I remember he did that, and then Bonkers had a single "We Run the Block," which was grime, and then but not someone that was at sets or whatever. And I found that really interesting. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it was just it was so unusual at the time.
It's a good thing, but it's just I would be dumb if I didn't notice what just went on there. I would be dumb, wouldn't I? Because if I've just told you that we should have big respect to whoever he got with in the end and worked with to sell music. Big respect to them. But the fact that me and Dizzy haven't got a label set up and Stormzy's and everyone signed to it, the fact that whoever haven't got labels set up so that we are selling our own selves what we set up, that's like, it's like we just did 20 years for nothing.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And it's a part, and that's my problem, because the buildings are laughing at us, ain't they? If the buildings have been making money off of us all, and whoever we've touched and worked, like rubbed shoulders with, and made music with, them buildings are laughing. Because remember, 20 years ago, it was vinyl, CD, this, that. You know,
yeah, all coming back to you, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why, again, I can't hate them. They probably don't hate me. We might argue on Monday, we might be cool on Friday, because we've all made money.
Right.
Obviously, it made more money, but we've all made something, like, and then some people haven't, and a person who hasn't would look and be like, okay, shit.
Yeah.
Well, they have to weigh up their odds, don't they? Whether they can even do music, they're gonna have to get a job on the side, or they're gonna have to make sure they've got some shows coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mad.
It's crazy. The name you mentioned there was Skepta. Are you back on speaking terms? Have you had a conversation privately? Because obviously there's.
I spoke to him in that time of when we was actually able to war. But the truth is, I respect what he's doing and what he's done, but for me to be able to do what I want to do, I can't be underneath any, like, not underneath, wrong word. I can't be following someone.
Okay.
And obviously, in Boy Better Know, it's what it ended up being, like us just following him around. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way. It's his turn. But I'm just saying, like, for me, myself, I have to be a certain % active, otherwise my body just doesn't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. And which goes back into what we were talking about the kind of bigger labels sometimes, because they treat those rosters like a group sometimes, and that's where the mistakes are made.
Yes, you're right.
Man.
One thing though with the labels is they've got the money.
Right.
That's why I would be horrible if you have to let people learn and do their own thing, you have to blah blah blah. Because if I said to someone who was 20 years old, don't sign a record deal, I would be a hypocrite. I'm not even saying that. Yeah, if you're 20 years old, do what you want.
Yeah. If
you're 20 years old and you do a deal, and then you start moaning 2 weeks later because you think you got bumped, then that becomes that goal. You know what I mean?
You're one of the few people actually who I think you've signed to basically every major in this country, and sometimes more than once, and it's never really none of those ever treat you differently as a result. A lot of people, if it doesn't work out on their first deal, they might not enter that system again. Whereas I think you're a rare survivor. You've actually been through every building at that point. I don't think there's a lot of people. You must be one of very few people to do that.
It's the business, isn't it? It's the business. It's this. What have you got that we can sell right now, mate?
Yeah.
It is. Because back then, it was a bit different, wasn't it? It was like 15k a single, 20k, or depending, whatever.
Yeah.
Today, it's friggin', mate, I don't know what these kids are getting, but I know that I heard before that, remember that tune, My Yay is Different to Your Yay?
Yeah, oh shit, yeah.
I heard they got 220 bags
Hey, that's different times now, man.
Sing that song ever again.
Yeah, no, it didn't do what it was meant to do commercially.
Mate. So there you go.
Crazy.
Obviously, that's not my business. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Wiley, my battery's going. I'm annoyed, so I'm worried.
It's been amazing talking to you, brother.
No, thank you. What was there anything that you particularly wanted to get off your chest before I let you go? Because you're not always available to ring, you know.
Man, anytime you want. I've got a podcast as well. Like, I'd love to come on there. There's all different times. You know what we do need to address. We need to address the coronavirus, but we're going to do it another time because you know what? Everyone stay indoors and stay safe, and these are the precautions now, and then we need to get ready for the next load of precautions coming out.
Yes. What is that podcast happening? Because obviously I remember the teaser in October or whatever. Have you got plans to be doing that then?
Doing what?
The podcast.
Yeah, no, I've got it. I've got to do it. I've been paid half, so I've got
Okay. I hear you, my guy.
I've got to do it, but you know what it is? We are going to start it in the next 7 days because social distancing and stuff. I could do a look or two things on Zoom, couldn't I?
Yeah. A couple of those. I think like Google Hangout, you can record it direct or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
We're going to try something like this, and then when it's proper, we'll get back in the studio and sit down. I was going to start it just before this friggin' stuff happened, man. But then I obviously like. Selling music and doing anything was the last thing on my mind. Like I was thinking, well, no one's got no work, everyone's at home. I don't really want anyone's money. I don't want to sell them anything. Then my manager was like, no, people need content. People need content. I was like, freaking hell, but they've got to save their money. They've been panic shopping. They need content now.
Well, we'll see. Well, if you need any help with that, shout me, I'll be here. I've got
amazing.
Thank you for talking to me, Wiley. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you've had a nice Easter as well. Take it easy, man. Thank you. That really happened. I spoke to Wiley for 45 minutes. That's what happens on this show. Novelist last week, Wiley this week. Surprise calls. Get used to it. Reprezent Radio.